So this week, I thought it would be fitting that we chat about what it means to lose, right? Not lose in the sense of like you're a loser, but you try your hardest and you lose. So giving it your all is the best, and we always feel like we left something out there when we didn't win, right? And maybe there's a spot you could, oh man, if I just would have hit that shot better, or if I just would have thrown the ball a little bit better in this spot. Yes, you can always look back to those things, but those are the opportunities to grow and understand where you made that mistake and don't make it again. Welcome to another episode of Making the Turn, a weekly segment from the folks at the In Regulation podcast. Making the Turn and the In Regulation podcast are brought to you by inREG Apparel. You can check out inREG Apparel at inregapparel.com. You can also follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And don't forget to follow, rate, and review the In Regulation podcast so that you are always on top of the latest episodes. And now your host of Making the Turn, one of the owners of inREG Apparel, Mike Tullio. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the In Regulation podcast, Making the Turn. It is a day late this week, probably almost 2 days late by the time this one hits y'all, but nevertheless, we're still making the turn. It's going to be Friday, it's going to be the weekend, it's going to be the latter half of the week. Everybody's getting ready to go out and hit the course. Here on the East Coast, in the northern part of the East Coast here in Pennsylvania, it's getting a little bit chilly, and right now I think it's like almost 47 degrees, not too bad, but dropping into 30s overnight. So it's getting to that time of year where you got to bundle up a little bit when you're on the course, but get out there. So at any rate, as usual, the In Regulation podcast is brought to you by inREG Apparel. Hit us up on inregapparel.com, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And believe it or not, I think we're actually on Threads too. So there you go. I don't know who uses it, but we're on there. Check us out. So yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a cool week for us. We're starting to get some stuff about to head our way that's going to head your way. So again, if you check out our inregapparel.com website, you'll see some of the new stuff that's going to be coming out. If you're watching this on the video feed, the hat that I'm wearing will be one of them. You can see it on our website. This here lightweight hoodie that's hanging up behind me will be another item. So keep an eye out for that stuff. It will be available soon. There are some golf towels, there's some ball markers, there's some stuff you can buy on there that's different. And as always, our awesome performance blade collar polo that's hanging up here. We've got another blade collar polo coming for you, a regular polo coming for you, and a whole lot of cool stuff coming in 2026. So hang with us. All right. Well, listen, last week on Making the Turn, we talked about Tiger and how Tiger's mentality was win, right? And he didn't care what it cost to win. And as we noted, he has another back surgery. So, chances are a lot of his cost of winning comes from, his, it cost him a lot of toll on his body and Navy SEAL training and all the crazy stuff he did to try and be the best. So this week, I thought it would be fitting that we chat about what it means to lose, right? Not lose in the sense of like you're a loser, but you try your hardest and you lose. And what it means to be a good loser, if you know what I mean, like not be a baby, not cry about it. Because I think this year on the tour, we saw some folks take losing, I don't know, maybe harder than before, and even last year a little bit. I know Rory catches a lot of heat for the way he kind of walked out of a couple of press conferences and did some stuff. And I get it. Everybody wants their time and they want to hear him talk about it. And I think Colin Morikawa did something like that and then came back and kind of doubled down on, I don't have to talk to you guys in the media. Well, I mean, no, I guess you technically don't, Colin, but I know you don't care what we think, but guess what? We're the people that pay for the tickets and show up and, watch the videos that you guys put out and all that other stuff. So it matters a little bit, right? I mean, I kind of, excuse me, I got his point a little bit, but nevertheless, I digress. So there's been some sore loserish sort of moments on the tour, and we'll start there, right? And I want to get into, the lessons we learned from a loss and what we take away from things like that, because I think that's kind of a cool part of losing. You don't really ever appreciate winning unless you have lost, because if you're always winning, you don't know that it's bad to lose or it's good to win, right? That's how you know it. But let's talk a little bit about some of the sore loserish moments we've seen, and I think again it does kind of start with the guys that just blow out and don't talk to the media and don't talk to the fans and don't do anything after a tough loss. And look, if you miss a 3-footer to win a tournament or to tie and go into a playoff and you lose a tournament, I don't expect somebody to be happy and walk over to the media and be like, hey, I didn't get that one today. No, man. Look, these guys are winners and they're competitive and they want to freaking win. So they're going to be pissed off when they lose. And sometimes that comes out in a way that seems like they're a sore loser or like they're being a baby. And sometimes they are. Yeah, sometimes they stomp their feet or they, we can even go back to, to Tiger when people used to not like the way he would curse or, drop the club or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I could see that, right? It wasn't the best look, but the dude was fiery and competitive. And, I mean, hell, we talked about it on the In Regulation podcast a little while ago, but Wyndham Clark this year, right? Kicking things and breaking lockers at Oakmont. I mean, that to me, that's the ultimate sore loser, dude. Destroying somebody's property, don't do that. That's just a dick move. But, if you go out there and you give it your best and you lose, be upset that you lost, but don't be upset at yourself for giving it your best. Because sometimes the other person's just better. You know what I mean? If we're going out and playing a sport like golf, or football or whatever, right? Football is a great example. Okay, you could execute everything just right on a play. All right, and I heard, I can't remember the coach. I honestly want to say it was Doug Peterson from the Eagles, but I feel like maybe I'm wrong. But no, mine might have been. Anyway, nevertheless, doesn't matter. His point was he was talking to the media and they did everything right on the play. And I want to say the quarterback got sacked or something like that. And he goes, hey, look, sometimes the defense just wins, right? Like the defense executed better than you executed, or they executed in a spot and you didn't see it coming. And that's how it goes. And it's the same thing with golf. It's the same thing with any competitive thing that you do. Sometimes the competitor is going to just win, right? And you can give it your all, and your all just isn't matching what the other person is doing or the other team is doing. So giving it your all is the best. And we always feel like we left something out there when we didn't win, right? And maybe there's a spot you can, oh man, if I just would have hit that shot better, or if I just would have thrown the ball a little bit better in this spot. Yes, you can always look back to those things, but those are the opportunities to grow and understand where you made that mistake and don't make it again. So I think it's kind of cool that, we could see some of that unfold on live television. You see the agony of defeat. You see the joys of winning and all that stuff. But, poor displays of sportsmanship and poor displays of being a loser aren't cool. Again, the Wyndham Clark thing, blowing out on the media and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, man. Like, these guys get paid a lot of money to do this sport, and I know they don't get paid salaries technically, but they've got endorsements and they've got all this other stuff. Take a breath. Tell them that you played like crap. You're really pissed off that you lost. Sorry, I don't have a whole lot else to add to that, right? Like give them something. Just take a stop, right? Or I do think it kind of brings me to a point that just popped into my head. I know there was a talk that one thing that does happen, and it happens kind of in all sports, but like football and baseball, and like they have some time. Sometimes they'll catch somebody coming off the field, but it's usually the winning team. But the guys that lose have, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, to get into the locker room, take a breath, maybe take a shower, whatever, and then go talk about it, right? So they have a moment to collect themselves. They catch these golfers like right off the golf course. Like, hey, you didn't win today. What do you have to say about that? Right? I mean, let the poor guy go sign his card, right? And have a moment, you know? And we can talk about whether or not it should be obligatory. And, I'm just here so I don't get fined and all that other stuff. But I don't know. At any rate, I do think that they should have a moment. The way they grab people like, well, you didn't have the best round today and you missed that 3-footer for birdie on 18 to win the tournament. How do you feel about that? Well, how the hell do you think they feel about that? They feel like crap, right? So give them 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then have a media time. All right. Talk to some of the other folks. There's players always coming off the course. And I know, and then talk to the winner right after the match or the round, right? Talk to the winner. The winner's going to be fine. Go catch up with the guy who didn't win in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Give that person some time to collect their thoughts. So, that's my spiel on that. At any rate, so let's dig into the other half of what I was kind of thinking about today and what really prompted me to do this talk, which is, what do we learn from losing? And I kind of alluded to a little bit of it back there, and it was kind of vague, right? And that's not necessarily the only thing we can take from losing. Like, oh, I hit a bad shot, so I can't hit that bad shot again. Well, guess what? You're going to hit bad shots on the golf course. You're going to make errant throws in baseball and football, and you're going to fumble the ball and stuff like that's going to happen. So lessons that you learn are fuel. And I was watching a little bit of the Bryson and Steph Curry break 50 today. And I heard Bryson talking about something that happened years and years ago where he lost to Patrick Cantlay, and it stuck with him. And he took that and used that as fuel. Like, that one got him, right? So if there's a particular loss, or if there's something that has happened to you that really just sticks in your craw that you lost, that's fuel, right? That's fuel to never feel that way again. That's fuel to never lose that same way again. Like, I am not going to miss that shot, or I am not going to miss 18 green like I did, right? And if I do, now I know how to get up and down and make that par and win the tournament, right? Not 3-putt for bogey or whatever. So there's a lot that can be said for that, and it's fuel, right? The lessons that we learn by falling on our face or by losing are so huge. And, take it from this dude who's fallen on his face a lot in my 50 years, right? It hurts, it stings, but that is fuel to keep driving and keep going forward. And that's really, the point of today's conversation is, if you do lose with class, and then take that loss and use it as fuel to make yourself better and to never lose that same way again. And I think, that's a little bit of advice that maybe sound kind of generic, but hey, you know what? In today's society where we see things in high school where you've got players tackling refs and you see things like that, like, that's not the kind of losing that we want to do. You take what happened, you apply it to your life, okay? Whether it be business, life, or business, family, sports, doesn't matter, okay? Take that loss, learn from it, never let it happen to you again, okay? Don't act out of anger. Don't act out of emotion. Don't make bad decisions in that time. Take a breath and move on and lose with some class, right? If you lose, you're going to lose. Not everybody, like I said, not everybody's going to win all the time, because you wouldn't understand how good it feels to win if you did. So enjoy the wins, lose with style, and learn from that is the best I can give you, right? So that's pretty much it for this week. Once again, get to the website and check out inregapparel.com. Again, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, And all the big socials. You can follow, rate, and review the In Regulation podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You will see the video feed on Spotify or YouTube. So you can stare at this beautiful face of mine if you so choose. Otherwise, you can listen to the audio feed. Anyway, thanks again for tuning in to the In Regulation podcast, Making the Turn. Again, follow, rate, and review. Check us out on inregapparel.com. Have an awesome weekend, everybody, and we'll catch you next week. See y'all.